It's hard to believe, but we are rapidly approaching the 40th anniversary of the greatest rock band of all time. Realize this is a coin channel and I run a coin business, but you're going to have to indulge me here. It's going to sound like somewhat of a love letter to AC/DC, but just humour me here. There will be plenty of footage of the coin, and there will be a very special price as well, so bear with me. AC/DC are one of those bands that I think a lot of people remember where they were the first time they heard one of their songs, or one of the main ones. And for me, it was Thunderstruck, and I was in the car with my brother, and as soon as I heard it, it was the first time I must have been about 7 or 8 years old, and I remember it was the first time that a song or a piece of music actually made me feel something, like I was getting goosebumps, and from that point on, it really took me, and I actually, for a couple of years, earlier on in my life, believe it or not, this mild-mannered coin dealer was once upon a time in a band. I played bass in a number of bands over the years and toured up and down the east coast of Australia, doing shows all over and just, causing a nuisance of myself. But it was a lot of fun, and I attribute a portion of that ambition to a band like AC/DC. Musically, they did so much with so little. A solid 4 on the floor, like basic rock beat, and driving thunderous bass line, and the guitar work. Oof! There's something spiritual about some of the tracks that they put out, and I had a lull in my interest in rock and roll. I've always been into that, the heavier music and things like that, and it was in a bit of a lull when I was into different types of music and things like that. And they were doing a show as part of the Black Ice World Tour, and I went downstairs and Mum said, "Oh, did you see that AC/DC are doing a show?" And I said, yeah, I'm not really here nor there. I had a phase where I was really into them, and then I went on to other things. But she said, "You know what, I think it's important that you go." And my mum's not a particularly musical person. She's never really been into live music. But when she said, "I think it's important that you go," I think that it's not something she'd ever said to me, so it actually meant something. And I thought, all right, we'll go along. And I went with both of my brothers. And I tell you what, it was a really amazing experience. If you haven't had the chance to see them live, I would highly recommend you do so while you still can. It was it was a spectacular event. There was, the cannons, they had a full-size train on stage. It was out of control, and the atmosphere there, like any kind of major music event, when you're surrounded by people that are all like-minded and really excited about what's going on, there's something about it. You just soak up the atmosphere, and it's a memory that has stuck with me. And the older I get, the more I recognise the significant part they played in not only Australian music history, but I guess they form a part of Australian history in and of themselves. If you go anywhere in the world and you mention a band like AC/DC, particularly in a pub, there's a good chance there's a lot of people that are going to be very familiar with and very fond of what you're talking about. Thanks for indulging me up until this point. We will get onto the coin now, the main event, if you will. So this was a coin that was produced by the Royal Australian Mint last year in 2021, and it's a frosted, uncirculated 1-ounce silver coin, and it features Angus Young, the iconic lead guitarist, shredding away up there, with the parrot from Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, and the 1981 For Those About to Rock, We Salute You album cover. That's the cannon, of course, from that. And if you'll just indulge me once more, when I saw them live, they actually had the cannons out on stage for that track. And they weren't firing cannons into the audience, but the sound and the atmosphere. Oh, jeez. All right, back onto the coin. So they produced 40,000 of these, and they all feature a little plaque in there with the serial number for that particular coin. And I think they've done a good job with the presentation on this one. It's somewhat understated, but I think it works well for this particular brand and this particular band, in fact. So if you're a fan of AC/DC or just Australian music history in general, I think this is one that you can't really go past. It's got a special place in many people's hearts, and I think it's an absolute belter. They came out with a recommended retail price of $90, but I'm feeling generous. I'll be selling them for $75. There you go. It was worth listening to me rabbit on and give you, my life story and experience with Akadaka. So they will be $75 on thompsonscoins.com. There'll be a link in the description, and they will be available until sold out. Hopefully they last a little while. Through, who knows? Maybe they'll last through to the anniversary. But I think there'll be another coin coming out in the series. It probably will coincide with the 40th anniversary in 2023. But if this is your type of thing, get into it. Certainly love it. It's a really, really cool coin and a great subject matter. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to learn any more, just drop a comment or get in touch with me directly at thompsonscoins.com. Thanks for watching. Keep rocking and rolling.